In this video, we're going to talk about the 5.7mm pistols, and I'm also going to include and glance upon carbines. There are two that I know of that are quite, they're not that common either. I don't see a lot of people shooting the carbines. You can get the actual 16-inch barrel version of the, I think it's a P90 weapon. And the thing about that, it does have a 50-round magazine. And you can get an AR-15 upper that'll work on your lower that also has the 50-round magazine in this caliber. But pistols have kind of become popular. A lot of people push these and, give them a lot of hype about them, and supposedly say that they will eventually or can replace the 9mm. Well, that needs, we'll see if that happens. Okay, but if you're liking the content and everything, please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, and if you could, become a member and support the channel. Alright, so gonna just review these in general. There are several different companies that put these handguns out, and this is a Caltech, the PR-57, okay? So, first category, concealed carry. Most of the other pistols that have a detachable box magazine are larger than this gun. They're bigger in size, shape, width, and the thing that gets me is with the cartridge, the length this way of the grip. A lot of these guns, I had one of the Turkish made ones. For me, it doesn't fit in my hand right. Now with the Caltech, what they did is they specifically tried to make a concealable gun. So there's several bizarre features on this gun that are innovative. The rotating barrel, the fact there's no magazine, you reload them with stripper clips, and all this other stuff. That was all done to make the size of this gun more compact, more concealable. This gun, when it comes to a pistol in that specific caliber, we're not comparing it to any other caliber other than the 5.7, it's unique. This one here, the Caltech, as far as concealability, scores a 10, okay, for concealed carry, whatever. All the other ones with the detachable mag that are quite large and bulky, I'm going to put them down at a 6 or even a 5. They're not very concealable guns. Okay. Now, in terms of a shit hits the fan scenario, the one advantage of all of these pistols is they hold 21 or 24 rounds in the handguns, depending on which model or who makes it. And this is where I'm going to cover the carbines of some sort. If you have one of the original style P90 types, I believe that's a designation, you have 50 round stick mags. And if you get an AR conversion, you have, that's where the 50 round stick mag, and I think Caltech makes a pistol that always carries it. So in that situation, the fact that you have an inline, and they're inline, okay, they don't protrude, stick out, it's not a drum, it's an inline stick mag. That's kind of a plus, and in a situation like that, even though the cartridge may not be ideal as compared to other ones, you got high mag capacity, and in a shit hit the fan situation, I'm going to give it a 9 because of the ammunition cost and the cost of the 50 round mags. But kind of give it a 9 in that, the carbine. The pistols, I'm going to have to lower that because more ammunition commonality. Now you do have high capacity, it's a controllable gun and everything. The only advantage this handgun has over others is it can penetrate body armor. Okay? Which for the general purpose guy that's just looking for a 9 or something, you know, if that's important, that's an advantage and the shit hits the fan type of thing if somebody's wearing body armor. Criminals do have a tendency to wear body armor nowadays, okay? So that's an advantage. So on this, I'll say, I'll give it a 8 for the penetration and somewhat lethality. Home defense, you know, there's nothing wrong with it for hanging around the house if it fits in your hand. The only thing is the high velocity bullet may over penetrate, but then again, you know, if you live in an apartment or in the city, that may be an issue, may not. We'll give this for home defense, you know, give it a 7. General purpose shooting. If you can get the larger guns to fit in your hands, okay, it is a pleasant gun to shoot and it would be a good weapon to learn how to shoot or practice with. So we'll give that, just for the shooting and that, we'll give it a 9, okay? General purpose shooting. Militia weapon. Again, the key to this in such said scenario is these handguns and also the carbines, is their penetration factor. For body armor, hard targets, somebody trying to run you over with a car, you know, this may punch through metal and stuff better than a 9 or 38 special, okay? So in that situation, there is a little bit of an advantage. So we'll give that an 8 all around. Okay. The thing that's going to be a detraction is ammunition commonality or availability. You're not going to find a lot of guys toting one of these or somebody that has a stockpile of the 5.7 ammo. Okay. It's going to be a little bit harder to find somebody with a large source of it other than, say, 9mm or 5.56. Collector's item, no. I got that in there for the milsurps. This is not a collector's item, so give it a 3. Okay, ammo. Ammo, price, and availability. This is going to score low because the ammunition is expensive. It's getting better, but you're looking at $40 for 50 rounds and that in a big box store. If you buy a case, buy it in bulk, you can kind of lower that, catching a sale nowadays, but that may change to about 25 bucks or so for a box, a 50 round box of ammo, but you have to buy it almost in case lot, so you're spending a few $100 there. Okay. And also, there are people that reload this. There's a lot of them out there. They argue they can reload it, this, that, and everything. It's not as simple as you think, like reloading a 9 or any other caliber. There's a lot of techniques and things you have to do to get it to work. There's people that swear by it, says it works all the time and everything else, but it's difficult. It's not for a standard person or a beginner that's just getting into reloading, so that's another detraction. So ammo and that, we're going to give that about a 6. Okay. Parts, repair, accessories. I know that some people make a holster for this and that. They do make extra stripper clips and everything else for this particular gun. I don't know about spare mags and the other models or makes, how expensive they are and that. So just because I don't quite know, we'll say a 7 for that. And overall, the cost and value, like I said, the big detraction on these, I mean, they're a nice gun. If you are comfortable with it and can shoot it, fantastic, okay? But for me, the ammunition is expensive, could be hard to find, and when I got this in, a couple of the shops were sold out of the ammo, so it's not as commonplace. And like I said, if you really need the penetration to punch through body armor or a hard target, okay, is about the only positive thing I can say on that. Plus the fact it is very soft shooting, so it's easy to, you know, keep it on target and get multiple hits, and they're fairly accurate. I've seen reviews on this gun where the performance is terrible. I'm not quite sure of a lot of the other ones. I didn't have them. I got 80 rounds to this without a hitch. So in my personal experience, as far as, you know, reliability and operation, I'm going to have to say 8, because I've seen people that have some issues with it. And, you know, more details in the videos I made on this. But that's my thoughts on the 5.7 pistols, and like I said, I'm throwing in the carbines also, because you don't really see them. I don't see people shooting a lot of the long guns or something with a 16-inch barrel that often, you know, as compared to other guns. Okay, thank you, and stay tuned.